Hello Taurus, and welcome to your new moon lunar cycle insight video for the March Pisces new moon lunar cycle. It's a very deeply healing and transformative time. We've got Mercury stationing retrograde on the final degree of the zodiac, 29 degrees Pisces, the day before the new moon rises. And as the moon rebirths herself, we have Uranus moving back into your sign. So this can be one of the most life-changing, groundbreaking months for you, Taurus. If you are under 84 years old, which I'm sure many of you are who are watching this video, then this will be the first time that you have experienced Uranus moving through your sign. So let's take a little look at these energies and what that might mean for you. You may remember Uranus moving into your sign for a short period last year. He moved into Taurus on the 15th of May 2018, and he stayed there for a few months before retrograding back into Aries in, I think, September 2018. So you've had a little taster of what it might feel like to work with the storm goddess in your sign. Uranus's energy is wild, it's unpredictable, it's revelatory. He is, or she is, the change maker of the zodiac, the lightning strike of inspiration, the bringer of true soul liberation. So this is a really exciting period for you, and you will be called to break out of your comfort zone and do things in ways that you have never done them before, to experience things that you have never experienced before. So Uranus calls us to find our true soul authenticity. He is the most individual, authentic expression of who we are. And she is the great liberator. So really this will be a 7-year journey of you breaking free of all that stifles your soul, all that stifles you from fully embracing and embodying yourself as you truly are. So as we discussed in May last year, this is a very interesting energy, because as Taurus, you are fixed earth. You are a very solid, practical, grounded sign that can be somewhat prone to stagnancy, to clinging on to what is familiar. And Uranus will not tolerate that. Uranus wants us to access the next dimension of reality. He wants to take us to where we have never been before. Uranus is the planet that orbits beyond Saturn in the solar system. So we have Saturn, which is our 3D matrix, our 3D reality, what we can see, you know, feel, taste, what we perceive to be real. Uranus is the next dimension. It's the age of Aquarius. It's the future. It's the visionary. So we, when we are working with him, have to be willing to move to the next level of our world, you know, the next level of our reality, which will require us to shake free of those things that have been holding us back, which can be quite challenging for you, Taurus, because you do like to hold on to what works. You do like security and familiarity. So it's important to bear in mind that everything that changes is calling you into this deeper expression of freedom, of really getting to know and understand yourself and what is valuable and important to you. This in many ways can be a revelation in the areas of self-love, sacred sexuality, wealth, resources and finances. All of the things that you rule over are being upgraded to the next level. So you are becoming, you know, your sign is becoming the key to the next stage of evolution. So there's going to be a deep focus on Taurus themes for the next 7 years. So it's time for you to really allow yourself to be who you've always wanted to be. Uranus can bring expansion in many ways. Sometimes she does it by stripping away, like I say, what is familiar, what is secure, what we're used to, you know, shaking us out of the rut that we are comfortable in. Sometimes she can call us to move forward by giving us what we feel we want. So, for example, you know, we might meet a new and exciting person that calls us into the next level of our being, you know, into the next stage of our soul's evolution. We might lose our job to suddenly get a new job, you know, we might have unexpected financial gain, unexpected financial loss, you know, all of these things that force us to change our perspective and look at life in a new way, you know. Life often changes us by giving us what we want as much as it can do by creating upheaval and chaos. So there's many things for you to think about. And Uranus is unpredictable by nature. So it's very hard for us to say, you know, this is what would happen because of the wild card energy that comes with this planet. So be open, Taurus, you know, be open, you know, start to think in a more progressive manner, start to see the bigger picture, start to work on start to realign with what feels truly valuable to you, you know, what are the things in your life that you feel are most valuable, you know, what do you have to share that you feel is valuable, that the rest of the world is ready to receive, you know, how can you break down walls and break through barriers? This could feel for you as well very much like a Kundalini energy rising, you know, it could feel like your physical reality, you know, your physical body is shifting and changing to accommodate the higher frequency of Uranus too. Sometimes when we have Uranus transits, we can feel very overstimulated and anxious because he, you know, he's the higher octave of Mercury and he rules over the nervous system. So we almost feel like there's a voltage of high frequency energy coming through that we then have to, you know, our physical vessel has to change to accommodate that. So you can be very supported in that by Mercury Retrograde, which is, you know, in general calling us all to detoxify and declutter. So really we're kind of clearing out the old to make way for the new. We're changing our thought patterns. We're learning to trust the voice of intuition, the downloads, the insights we get, especially around the time of this new moon, because that when a planet changes signs, we often get a foreshadowing of the lessons that will be with us for the next, however long the planet is transiting the sign. So in this case, 7 years. So pay attention, Taurus, to what is coming in, what is coming through you, what is happening in your life, you know, what is making you feel stifled that you just want to, you know, throw your shackles off and liberate yourself from. So that is Uranus in Taurus. And, you know, like I say, this will be a transit that unfolds over the next 7 years, and you'll begin to really feel this kind of settling into place as we, you know, head to Taurus season later in the year. And, you know, those of you who are born early, the early degrees of Taurus, you know, the beginning of the sign, straight away Uranus is going to come and make a conjunction with your sun or any other planets you happen to have there, which will, you know, make this energy feel even more potent for you. So let's have a look at what else is going on this month. And of course we have this conglomeration of planets in Pisces. So at the time of the new moon, we've got, like I said, Mercury stationing. We've got the sun and the moon conjunct Neptune, the ruler of Pisces. So there is this kind of tidal wave of Piscean energy, of unconditional love, of dissolution, you know, of washing away the old. Pisces can be a sign that encourages us to let go, particularly on an emotional level. So it's really synchronistic with the shift of Uranus into Taurus for you, because we have this real push to let go of what is no longer working, which is exactly the energy that you will need to be working with. So for you, Taurus, these energies are coming together in your 11th house. So the 11th house of the birth chart is very much to do with our, it's the Aquarian house, the Uranian house actually, very interestingly. And it's very much to do with our vision for the future. It's very much to do with our purpose and how our individual purpose intertwines with the evolution of humanity. So here we come back to this theme that I was talking about earlier. You know, how is the work that you're doing, how is your unique individual expression of your talents and gifts serving humanity as a whole? So this is a big focus, and the Mercury retrograde energies are asking us to rework anything that isn't serving us, you know, to let go of those old fantasies and illusions and visions that we can't really ground into being. So with looking at what works, what doesn't, you know, perhaps we're going to, after this cycle, we're going to start to put ourselves out there in a new way. But first we have to process and let go of the old. This is the part of the birth chart that also deals with our friendships, networks, connections, both in person, online. It's to do with, you know, groups, the collective consciousness as well. So this can be a period when we're looking at these connections, you know, we're looking at the people that we are connected with in the web of life, through work, through social interactions, through online interactions, and saying, you know, is this really serving me? Perhaps we need a social media detox or cleanse. You know, perhaps we have to let go, because we are in this energy of upgrading with Uranus moving into our sign. Perhaps we have to let go of some old friendships and connections and collaborations. You know, perhaps these old things that we've been working on, these things that we've been pouring our time and energy into, we suddenly realize, okay, this isn't what feels true to me. This isn't what feels authentic to me. I need to make a change. I need to break free. I need to work in new ways. I need to serve in new ways. I need to take care of myself and heal and nurture myself in new ways. So it really is this process of peeling back the layers, releasing, surrendering, letting go, so that you can really birth your new reality, your new expression of self. So who do you want to become, Taurus? You know, the next 7 years, what do you want to be? What do you want to achieve? Like I said, what really holds deep meaning and value for you? And how can you think about bringing that into being? How can you change the way that you make money, that you manage your time and energy? All of these things can be rising up to be looked at. We've also got Venus moving through the 10th house as well, you know, in Aquarius this month. So we can be looking at, as old connections fall away, perhaps some new blessings are coming in, some new contacts that can help us as we are shifting our work, shifting and changing our lives. So just be aware that new people may come in, but they may not exactly be what they seem because of the Mercury retrograde energies. We've also got the sun is going to move into Aries on the equinox on the 20th of March. And she is going to be transiting your 12th house with Chiron. So again, you know, we're looking at this processing of old wounds, this energy of soul detoxification, of karmic cleansing. And she's going to be opposing the first Libra full moon of the year, because we've got 2 in your fellow Venus ruled sign this springtime, in the 6th house of decluttering. So as I'm saying in most of the videos this month, this is a time of letting go of the past through detoxifying our mind, body, our homes and surroundings. And this particularly comes into focus for you mid-March at the equinox point. So perhaps, you know, Uranus comes into your sign and it's like, oh gosh, I need to change everything. I need to declutter. I need to, you know, get rid of all of these things that are holding me back on an energetic level in my physical reality. I need to cleanse my body so it can accommodate this new frequency. I need to detoxify my mind so that I can gain a clearer perspective on where I'm going, so I can bring in these new inspirations and insights that I can then share with everybody else. So as you can see, it is quite a confusing, paradoxical, chaotic energy that we're dealing with this month. But just as I'm saying to all the signs, surrender, flow, trust that everything is working out in the divine plan in ways that we can't see or perceive at this moment. So I am going to pick a card for you from the Goddess Oracle by Amy Sophia to bring closure to this reading. So let's pick a card for you, Taurus. Oh, this is really nice. So this is Kuan Yin, and this card is compassion. So for me, that's saying, you know, be gentle with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself as you go through this huge paradigm shift. You know, allow yourself the mercy that you give to other people. Don't feel like you have to be in control, like you have to push to get things done. Just allow the energies to move and flow through your life, dislodging and disintegrating all of those old stagnant patterns and belief systems. As I'm speaking this, I'm kind of, not a very nice image, but I'm seeing you know, when you make a bowl of porridge and it gets stuck to the edge of the bowl and you have to wash it a few times in order to get it really clean. A strange analogy, I know. But I feel like that's what's happening to you this month. You're being kind of cleansed and stripped back to your core essence, so you can be that empty vessel for the new inspirations, for the new energies to move through. You know, you're the forerunner now with Uranus in your sign. Us Aries have handed the baton over to you. You are the initiators of the next level of the age of Aquarius. You are teaching us about embodiment, about grounding, anchoring, and making this new reality tangible. So it's a huge thing. So give yourself space, give yourself love, nourish and nurture yourself, Taurus. Call on Kuan Yin to help you. Thank you so much for listening to me. You can connect with me further via the links below, and I am wishing you a beautiful lunar cycle.